to East Peoria, Illinois, in the Brunswick Billiards Midwest Classic. Mitch Lawrence and Don Hopkins here very high above the floor. In reality, a few feet away from what promises to be a fabulous matchup between two of the great players in the world. Karen Corr at the table, having won the lag, the all-important first break. And Dawn, she will stay at the table.
She stays at the table. Here's the 1 ball up here, and the 2 is down at the other end. She didn't control her cue ball on that break. It slid off to the side, almost scratched in the pocket. Normally you'd want to keep the cue ball right in the center, and she didn't do that this time. So I think it has cost her the first shot at the table.
And you will see her move around, take a good look at it, because even though it's the first rack, you want to establish some position early. She's going to play a push-out, Dawn. Why don't you explain that for us?
Right, she can't see the 1 directly, so she's going to push the cue ball somewhere in the table and allow Helena to get up and make a choice whether she wants to shoot that shot or not. Definitely not where she wanted the cue ball. She left Helena with a perfect shot, 1 ball in the corner. Again, the 2 ball is down the other end of the table. The 8 is along the rail, so this might cause a little bit of a problem in the path of the cue ball to get down the other end.
Now, to me, it's a pretty interesting choice by Karen right off the bat to have that kind of a push out. Do you think it's because she knew that Helena would have some kind of play here on the 1 to play a safe or whatever? Maybe she'd have some trouble getting back to the 2?
No, I believe she was trying to come.
Wow.
It's putting Karen right in her place, right in the beginning here. No, I think that Karen accidentally pushed in that spot. So now we have the 9 and the 3. They're tied up. The 3 does not go by the 4 into the corner, but it's a possible 3-9 combination. She can slide that 9 over. I don't believe she can, though. I think she tried to break him up here and didn't do it.
And Helena, when she walked away from that, was talking to that ball, and she's got that look on her face. This is a very, very hungry Helena Thornfeldt to keep moving on. The winner of this match will face Allison Fisher, and the winner of that match will face Gerda Hofstetter, waiting in the finals.
Yeah, see, the 9, I think, is heading too much towards this part of the rail. So she's going to elect to play a safety here of some sort.
She breaks that 9 away, Dawn, but I think Karen's got to look at that 3. I don't know how much she can do with it.
I don't know how much. It's hard to see from up here. It's possible that Karen can make it in the side. I don't think so, but Karen can see the 3 ball. So we'll see how much of the ball she can see here. Well, that's a better
yeah,
angle.
From
Yeah,
this
she
angle
has a
you can
shot.
And this table has suddenly spread for Karen. We're in rack number 1. I'll give you some of the rules right now. This is the game of 9 ball. This will be a race to 7. There's a 30-second shot clock on the players with 1 extension per rack. This will be cue ball fouls only. 4 balls left on the table for an early lead for Karen Corr. This is the dominant player in the world. The 2001 Player of the Year, and it would be hard to argue that choice after what she managed to do last year.
Incredible year. Very, very good year.
Winning every tour stop in a big way. A huge statement by Karen Corr that she had arrived in America. You're getting a fabulous look at what is a truly beautiful table here on TV. The Brunswick Billiards Gibson table. Brunswick, the official table sponsor of the WPBA Classic Tour. And now 2 balls left. And this is a very, very deliberate Karen Corr. We've become used to seeing her play this way, taking advantage of some mistakes. Helena, a couple of times, may have had some chances and let this early rack seemingly get away from her. 1 ball hanging. For Karen Corr. The hunger to be number 1 can be a big driving force. I asked Karen earlier how she keeps that fire going within after attaining that lofty ranking.
Yeah, it took me a couple of years to get to the #1 spot, and I worked hard, and you know, I just continued to practice and you know, try my best to win every event that I enter, you know, and obviously then hopefully I'll stay the number one position. So there's plenty of motivation both ways.
A look at the beautiful Centennial Ball by Brunswick Billiards, the official ball of the WPBA Classic Tour. Here at the Brunswick Billiards Midwest Classic at the Paradise Casino and Hotel, East Peoria, Illinois. Karen Corr, #1 ranked player in the world, the Irish invader. 2-0 lead in the race to 7 against Helena Thornfeldt. See who will move on and meet the Duchess of Doom, Allison Fisher, #2 ranked on the Grand Tour.
Oh, she made a ball in the break that time. Did she make a ball?
Yes.
Yes, she made the 2 in the corner. Not the 2, the 4. She was trying to pocket the 1 on the side, and it almost went, but it did hang by the side. So now you see the 1 here. 2 balls back again behind the 9. So Karen's going to have to pocket that 1, possibly up in the corner for position on the 2. Because if she tries to cut it in the side and goes up and down, it's going to be harder, I think, for her to get position. She might take the easier shot, though.
There's the 1. Watch out. Watch out. Short.
Well,
If you're Helena Thornfeldt, that is a great sight right there.
ball in
That is
hand on the 2.
exactly
Yes.
what you need.
I think she just had to work that cue ball a little bit too much around the table.
Let me ask you a question about position with cue ball in hand, which Helena has. Do you feel extra pressure as a player when you get ball in hand? Knowing you can set that cue ball anywhere, assuming that a rack doesn't have a whole lot of tied up balls. Do you feel extra pressure to get out when you have an advantage?
No, I don't think so. I think it's a comfort, actually, knowing that you have an easy shot to start with. And to me, my personal feeling is that I feel much more comfortable than getting up with a tough shot to shoot. So it's actually a relaxing feeling. It's not a pressure kind of.
Do you work backwards on a rack? In other words, do you say, I want to be shooting on the line? Are you going to go from there? Or does everybody have a particular style?
Again, I think it's a personal preference, but in general, everybody is taught to shoot 3 balls ahead. So you need to consider, in that case, the 2, the 3, and the 5, which was the next ball on the table. And then look for any of the cluster shots also. But you need to definitely shoot 3 balls ahead. I think sometimes your mind is put every ball in. Well, there's not really a way to know that. Because as the rack goes on, sometimes the position changes and your choices will change. So 3 balls ahead is the standard. Well,
I have enough trouble thinking 1 ball. Forget ahead. That word doesn't come into my point.
This shot is a little bit straight here. So I think she's going to play that. She's trying to create an angle with that. Actually, I have done this many times. It is thinking exactly where you want the cue ball. You're so focused on that spot that you take your eye off the shot that you play.
that is huge.
Very huge. Although Karen's going to be jacked up over her ball here. 7 ball, see that? So that makes the shot tougher. She's going to have to shoot the 6 and hold the cue ball for that same combination that
spot on the cue ball that Karen was working with. And boy, how this table has turned.
Now, normally you wouldn't want to shoot this combination, but because the 8 is in the other corner blocking you, it would be better to shoot the 7-9 combo than the 7-8 combo. See, and that's why people don't like to shoot combinations with it. The percentage of making a combination is much less than running out. If that 8 were not in the pocket, Karen would have played position on the 7 to go into the corner where the 8 is.
Helena with another chance at the table. I don't know if she thought she had another chance in this rack. Once again, the question comes. Can she finish it off and get on the board? Coming with that shot. That is exactly what Helena Thornfeldt needed. 8 hanging there, 9 hanging there. That was a big play. As we mentioned earlier, Helena's been winless on tour since 1997. Does this bring with it any increased pressure to perform?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I feel like I've been playing really good, especially these last 2 years. I've been playing very consistent, but when it comes to the end of the tournament, it seemed like, I haven't been handling the pressure all that good. But I've been trying to learn from it, and I get there. I learn every time. I learn something new, and, one of these days, it'd be right there.
Hi, everybody. Mitch Lawrence, along with Tiffany Nelson. And when you use the phrase rising star, this is what I'm talking about. Hi, Tiffany.
Hi, Mitch. How are you?
First of all, congratulations on what is a fabulous event for you, finishing 5th, 6th. Now, you finished a little bit higher a couple of times. You've been on TV before, but I know that your life has changed dramatically in the last few months, and you are now committed full-time to the WPBA Classic Tour, and I think these players should be very afraid.
Thank you very much, Mitch. I just moved to Florida from Maine. I've been playing pool full-time since June, playing probably about 8 hours a day, maybe sometimes 12, maybe 15. So I'm playing a lot of pool.
You started on tour second in the event right off the bat, great success at the Junior Nationals, went to college and still played, and now, as we said, you're doing nothing but playing pool. And you've got to be happy about the results. We'll talk about that a little more. Dawn, what's this table look like for Helena? Or for Karen, actually. Nothing on the break for Helena.
Nothing on the break. Karen does have a shot at the 1. Here's the 1 right here. The 2 and the 6 are tied up, but that 6 goes directly into the pocket. So if Karen can pocket the 1 down into the corner and get to see the 2 ball, I believe that she can play that combination.
Slipping a little bit off, and look at that safety.
She couldn't get positioned down for that combination. She just decided to play it safe. She doesn't want to lose control.
So many blockers on that side of the table. Mitch Lawrence, Dawn Hopkins, being joined by Tiffany Nelson, originally from Madawaska, Maine, all over the way north, now near, what did you say, West Palm Beach?
Yeah, West Palm Beach, right.
So close.
And that's what happens when you play a good safety. As Karen Corr did, she'll now have ball in hand. Let's see where she goes with this. Tiffany, your experience, having committed so much time now to practicing all the time, to getting out on tour, finishing 5th, 6th, how did that feel?
It did. A lot of times you get into tournaments and you know you're playing well beforehand, but to finish well when you know that you're playing well, it means so much more. It's actually easy coming to this tournament knowing how well I was playing and not finish as well as I did. And then it would have been, very frustrating. I would have gone home and practiced more and everything.
So this is incentive. This is exciting for you. You've been playing for so long with other diversions. Now that you can concentrate and wake up in the morning and go, I can spend it.
Feels so nice. Just be able to play pool.
Don, are you scared?
Well, she's had me shaking a little bit. You know, we shake each other up every once in a while.
But this is what's great about the tour is that there are so many good younger players coming up now. We keep hearing about, starting to see the fish close to the TV matches. Kim Shaw had a great tournament. So way around this table up 2-1 against Elena in the race to 7.
This is a real key shot here. Here's the 4 ball, and the 5 is hanging by the side pocket. So Karen needs to draw back about 2 feet to get position on that. Being so straight in, where her bridge hand is on the rail, it's just a very difficult shot. Now here again, she needs to get over for the 6 ball. The 6 is on the other side of the table. The 7 ball is a little bit in the way, so she has a choice. She can thin the 5 really thin and try to come above the 7 ball, or she can draw the cue ball around the 7 ball and come around the table.
So a couple of options for Karen. We'll see which one she goes with. We'll see how much she's jacking up here.
No, she's trying to draw straight back. That's a possibility. I just thought the 5 had a bit more angle. No, there she goes around the table to the 6.
Tiffany, what are you looking forward to now? You've got a few big tournaments coming up. What do you feel? What do you really juiced about playing right now? What are you looking forward to the rest of the year?
Well, one of the goals has to be on a TV match. You know, getting so close, having quite a few 5th place finishes, and that final match is just so tough. You know, you really feel the pressure.
A lot of people out there don't understand that there's 64 players that start at every tour stop, and 4 of the players get to the TV matches, and it's just an incredibly hard thing to do. So you're like knocking on the door. I have no doubt that we can see you on TV. 2 balls left. This would be for a 3-1 lead.
This has been a great out if she gets out here, and there was a lot of trouble in the beginning of this rack, and she broke through it and came to the end.
And something that all great players do. I was going to say using all parts of the pocket. This is a tough shot on the 9.
Definitely didn't leave herself the right angle that she wanted. She's going to get the bridge. Or, well, she has this little thing that she screws onto the bottom of her cue stick and makes her cue stick a little bit longer to be able to reach. It's more comfortable than using a bridge.
You could see how she feels about that shot. But there has been nobody better at concentrating. See that leg fly up in the air. Let's see if she can make this. This would be for a 2-rack lead.
Wow, we haven't seen that often.
We don't see that very often at all.
Why doesn't she do that against us?
She didn't do that against me.
Well, this is no hanger. Elena really has to bear down and watch the cue ball, because if she hits it super thin, there is a possibility of her scratching of the corner.
Yes, hit it super thin. Yes.
Big turnaround shot like this. By the same token, misses. Again, Karen, with another chance, and you do not want to give the #1 player in the world too many chances, Tiffany. You know that. Karen got you this time in this event.
They both got me this time.
But you played very, very tough against both of them. Karen beating you 9-5. Elena 9-5. So something about that score that's going to change sometime soon.
I didn't like it.
And she's not going to miss it twice. So Karen Corr with a 2-rack lead against Elena Thornfeldt. I'm going to thank Tiffany Nelson for being here. Currently ranked number 15 in the world.
Game 4 goes
Very
to score.
good.
She
Thanks,
now leads
Tiffany.
3-1, racing to 7.
see the Gibson by Brunswick official table and ball sponsor, Brunswick Billiards, bringing you great action on the WPBA Classic Tour. Karen Corr, the Irish roller, returning from Pennsylvania, at the table. With a 2-rack lead against Helena Thornfeldt. Break. Let's see where that winds up. Dawn.
She made the 8 on the break, and again the 1 just about went into the side pocket, but barely missed. The 1 ended up here. Cue ball is here, so there is a shot of the 1, and the good thing is that the cue ball can come back around for this 2 down to get her into the table. She's jacked up over the ball, though, really tough, but if she misses, she might get safe, so it's really a good 2-way shot. See that? She did overcut it a little bit. Look, it didn't really hurt her any. It's quite a mess here for Helena. I don't think that she can see by the 9 ball. So she's either going to kick at it or she could masse around if she feels she could just hit a little piece of it. Yeah, she's going to put a lot of spin on it, a lot of right-hand spin, and just try to keep behind it. Hit it too thin. She wanted to hit it fuller, but from where she was at, she did a good job.
This has to be unbelievably frustrating right now. Such high hopes coming into this match. Now, like Karen Corr, nothing really easy.
No, that last 9 ball, if she had had an easy straight-in shot, it would have been good to go by. Sometimes that happens. Somebody misses a 9 ball.
You see some of the phenomenal fans that have been here in East Peoria all week. A lot of them members of the American Pool Players Association, the world's largest pool league. These people know their pool. They had a chance to watch 64 of the great players in the world. They have been out in droves all week. Doing what she has done so well over the last year and a half, somehow getting to the table, taking care of business, and not giving the player a chance to play.
And, you know, people say sometimes, how do you shoot with all that commotion going on around you? Cameras and all this. And here's a person now who, like we said earlier, has in the hospital, and still she can just concentrate totally on what she's doing. There's nothing else that she's thinking about.
And sometimes, I guess, in a way, this is a chance to stop thinking about whatever else is going on in life and just kind of play at the table. Chin.
Look at the situation here.
7-9. Yep.
7-9 round.
The 3rd rack. Karen missed the 7-9 combination. And went on to win that rack.
She's got the 5, but now the 5, once she shoots the 5, she's not going to be able to hold the cue ball, like roll it down for the 6 in the side. So she's probably going to have to break those open or play the combination unless the 6 can squeeze by. Yeah, she broke it open.
Good shot there.
Very good. Now she's in a great position to play the 6 ball in this corner down here. Come up just anywhere in the center of the table here for position on the 7. One thing that she does want to do is make sure that she doesn't scratch in the side pocket. She's already scratched once, so I'm sure that is on her mind. See how far.
Follow through on the shot. This is textbook. Those of you watching at home that might just be starting to play the game, when you get a chance to watch the greatest players in the world, you just try to notice little things like their follow-through, where they have the cue against the chin or wherever. It's a great way to learn. And if you work hard and you have talent, I know it was a dream a while ago for Karen Corr. She has come over and said, not only can I do this, against Helena Thornfeldt. great crowds all week in East Peoria, Illinois, with the Paradise Casino and Hotel. Brunswick Billiards Midwest Classic. She cannot let too many more games get away from her. Now, normally this is a huge break from Helena. Dawn, we'll see what she does with it.
Oh, no, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. See, she went to the side that Karen was breaking at and got a ball in. Got a ball in the corner and played with good speed to get that one in the side. So now she's only left with 2 ball up here. Here's the cue ball. And the 3 ball is down here by the 6. A little bit of a problem here is that if she cuts the 2 into this corner, the cue ball is going to want to go in this direction fast. So I don't know how she's going to get position on the 2 without having to go around the table. I mean on the 3, I'm sorry. So because of that, I believe she played it safe. It's just too much work.
She started walking back to her seat and said, okay, Karen, you come with it now. If there's anybody capable of doing it, it's Karen Corr. We'll see. That's a beautiful safety there.
Can you see the piece of the 2? She's going to masse a little bit around, jack the cue stick up, hit on the left side of the cue ball, which makes the ball curve. It squirts a little bit around those balls. See that?
There it is.
See? Beautiful.
Nice shot just to get to it, but it accomplished what Helena wanted to, which was to get her to the table in a better position than she was before she played this game.
Well, the 2 does go into the side. A very difficult shot. Can she play position on the 3? That's the question. I think so. I think if she just rolls it up to the center of the table, she'll be fine. Now she's in strike position here. 3 balls straight in. The 4 is over on the rail here. Just draw the cue ball back about 2 feet. Not too much. You're rolling it straight because the 5's on the other rail.
And you'll see that she left herself a little bit of an angle there. There it is.
See, Helena's got a great draw stroke, full table length draw stroke, so she could draw the cue ball back. She's looking at the angle now that if she just popped off the rail and came up like towards the center of the table, how hard of a shot would it be with the 5? Those are her options. And I think she's going to do that. I don't think she's going to stroke it a lot.
Holy, not
A little too much.
She said, oh, cow.
Yep, she came too much. She actually wanted to be about 2 feet shorter than that.
That's big. As
Now
we keep talking about, every rack now big for Helena, trying to get back against Karen.
Now Steve Tipton's going to come into the picture, the tournament director, because the balls are so close together. This is where there's a possible foul that could happen, where the cue ball will double hit the stick. So she's going to jack up her cue stick and hit down on the cue ball, which allows the cue ball to come backwards without that double hit.
There's some technique. People stand in the back corners when they see it. This is certainly worth another look.
Awesome shot. Look at that. And she has the draw on the cue ball to bring it backwards so there's no double hit.
Beautifully done. Her work is not over, though, Dawn.
take my extension.
This is a key shot. If she makes the 6 in this corner, if it does go, which I believe it does, the cue ball's going to drift down. So there's no problem with the scratch or anything. It's just a matter of focusing on making the shot. Now maybe she does feel like she's going to scratch in the corner, so she's going to hit low in the cue ball to avoid it. Beautiful.
She's showing us something on this rack. This is how you take control of the rack and change the momentum. Exactly what Helena's done in this rack. Faced with tough shots, she's taken her time. This is where seasoning on TV comes into it. A couple of years ago, she might have rushed these shots. She is taking her time right now, fighting her way back. She needs this this 9 to get within 1 game of Karen Corr. She will feel pretty darn good if this 9 goes. Puts it in the right time. She's back within 1. Elena Thornfeldt at the table. 3-4 now. She's in good position. The last back, she broke, made 2 balls, and set herself up in a pretty good position. Of course, she had to make a couple of great shots to get out. And again, look at this. 3 balls on the break.
And a shot. And she has a shot on the 2. This is not a bad way to start out. Here's the 2, there's the cue ball. It's long, but it's a shot. And if she pockets the 2, she can come up here into the middle of the table for the 3 right here. Everything's wide open. It's a great rack to start with.
Originally from Borlänge in Sweden. She's one of the great players in Europe. Not only a 9-ball, but a European straight pool champion. Somebody who knows a lot about the game, a lot about patterns.
Short, so that nice wide open table changed it.
Sure did. She
But
can go for the bank here.
Well, because she made 2 banks in a row on it that she went.
Take my
So
stone.
she may be very comfortable with that. And if she makes it, she's got instant position on the 4 ball.
To me, this is one of the hardest parts about the game, though. What you see here, Karen Corr just sitting there, not able to do anything. Wait for her turn.
Wanted to stay down, not get too excited about it, because she knew it was a winning shot. It sets her up really nice for her. Just pocket the 4. There's not much to do to get on the 7. The 7's in front of the pocket, so she can focus all her concentration on making a shot.
Good stroke there. Elena lost earlier in the tournament to Allison Fisher, and then came back and defeated Tiffany Nelson 9-5 to get to this match. Played beautiful pool there. When she lets herself play, she really is one of the great shot makers.
She's quite a good like I said earlier, it's just her concentration that's been lacking. She doesn't feel like anybody out here can do anything any better than she can. It's just her focus.
It's not just 9-ball, mental game. Equally as important as the physical. This is what she wanted. This is to tie this match up. This crowd's going to cheer. We got a ball game, fans. Elena Thornfeldt tying it up against Karen Corr here at the Midwest Classic. That's become a fixture of the WPBA Classic Tour, the Sardo Tight Rack, the only rack that's got repeatable precision. An excited crowd here in East Peoria, Illinois. Elena Thornfeldt at the table. Two breaks, great breaks in the last couple of racks by Elena. 2 balls and then 3 balls in the last rack. Let's see what she can do here.
Oh,
no.
Did that
Again.
kicked in? I didn't know.
No, again, 3 balls on that break, Dawn. Except this time the cue ball.
Big thing.
Let's see what happens.
Watch this. Watch the cue ball. See, no, it went straight in. So that actually technically is an error because she hit it really in the pocket. So
Talk about a momentum swinger.
But
Wow.
again, the balls are so wide open, like the last one. Ball in hand, now it's just a matter of staying in position. Karen has the 3. She could either hold the cue ball right over here for the 4 in this pocket, or if she's more comfortable, come back over on this side of the table. But here's the 3 balls ahead. She has to think about playing the 3, the 4 to get on that 7, because the 7 is on the back rail. And if you don't leave the right position, that's where you can mess yourself up in a wreck. 3 balls ahead will cure that.
Could be a really, really big enemy. Karen trying to get the momentum back now for Helena.
Now, ideally, she wants to get on this side of the 7 ball. I don't know if she has the angle to do that. She may have to play the other side of the 7 ball. Yes, the short side, which is not really because the 7 is closer to that pocket. But it works. Now she's just going to pocket the 7 and drift back down the table with an 8 inside. It's a natural angle. Make sure that the cue ball does not go behind the 9, so she doesn't want to hit it too hard. She should have told us.
All right, 5, 6 were gone on the break. 7, here's the 8 and the 9. 2001, let's see that cue ball keeps rolling. Trying to get a 1-rack lead, getting down to the end of it. Race to 7.
We're
here in East Peoria, Illinois.
5-4 in favor of Miss Corr.
The WPBA Midwest Classic is brought to you by Paradise Hotel Casino, the perfect climate for winning. By WPBA. Since 1830. Midwest Classic. And at this point, Helena Thornfeldt has to pray for another shot at the table. See what Karen does with the break. There goes the 2. And that cue ball again stuck.
Well, you know why? She didn't come off it straight off the rack and come back here with the cue ball. She hit it off the side. The cue ball kind of comes this way and bumps a couple of balls. So now the 1's up here, the 2 and the 9 are tied up. Here's the cue ball. She's in that same spot where she has to push, but the 1's in front of the pocket. So where are you going to push? You have to push. You can't push for where you can see the shot. You have to push where somebody's going to have to jump over the balls to get to that, or maybe kick behind behind them.
I think the push out is one of the most interesting
Go ahead.
shots in the game because there's so much strategy involved. If I get this back, I want to be able to have a shot to do something. But I'd like my opponent to try it. but
Right.
Is it tough enough? There's got to be a lot going on. Karen gets it back.
Yes, Helena didn't pick it. So in Karen's, maybe she's comfortable with the jump shots. It is in front of the pockets. Looks sweet. Yeah, I mean, she knew where the puck was.
Now her problem is on the next shot. Like you hit a great one. It's like hitting a 5-iron to 5 feet, and you still got to make the putt. Well, here's the putt.
And
You're
there's,
gonna have
and there's a
something to do with
rock
this?
in front of the hole for the
Yeah.
putt. The 8 is in the way with this 3 ball. Here's the 3 down here. 4, that was a 4 by the 9 ball. So here comes a safety here because she cannot pocket the 3. She's going to keep behind the 3 and maybe send it up the table. The 9 got in the way. She wanted to send it up the table and lose the 9 here. Thank you. There's a lot of balls here in the middle of the table, so I see her just putting the 3 ball up here and the cue ball back down in this area.
This has to be frustrating too. You get to the table, you're down 6-4.
Well, you know what she could do here? She could do the sideball, side
Extension.
pocket,
Do we have an extension?
and if she misses, she's safe. But if she makes it, the field is back down here with a cue ball. So maybe she could do that two ways.
Defense or offense? What do you do? It's a good answer.
She has just a little sliver of this 3 ball that you can see. So now, if she hits the 3 ball thin, the cue ball is going to travel down in this direction. There are a lot of balls in the center of the table, so there's lots of ways to hide this cue ball. So -7, not quite. That 3 keeps peeking out just a little. They're all begging, but it's not going. So now here again,
Boy.
there's a, well, now maybe she can beg the 3 over here. She can see it full enough. Or thin it, have the cue ball come back down to what Karen was trying to do. She saw it, could see a lot of that ball. We'll see in a minute. Looks like, you think that she can see the edge of that 3 right here?
It looks like she can.
If she can, come behind here, kick the 3 up the table, and stick the cue ball on it. Just don't scratch behind it. See how the cue ball She says, I don't want to let it roll, but I want it to board out.
Maybe that, didn't it?
Do you remember that from the next match that you were playing? You made the shot now? I was trying to play safe, but no, I don't. You make it.
Yeah, the 4 was down there. Yep. Try to cut the 4 in, I think. Slow roll the cue ball so she has a shot inside the 5. She makes this. Wow. Yeah. But, you know, 2-way shot. Now, is that ball speed or what? Cue ball frozen on the rail. This is where you want your opponent. Frozen, other object ball down the other end. Now Helena's going to just thin the side of the 4 and bring the cue ball back down somewhere, hopefully behind one of those balls.
Helena Thornfeldt on the ropes right now, just struggling to stay alive against Karen Corr.
It's a bit of a cat and mouse game. at this
Gotta
point.
hit it.
Didn't get it.
Got to hit it right there.
Little
She
too
knows it.
thin. What did it fit?
A little too much air.
A little too much air. Get that 4-ball to grow a little.
I would be very, very surprised if you give the #1 player in the world ball in hand with balls on the table that are pretty much open. She should be able to finish the job. She could get this rack to the next semifinal match against Allison Fisher, the #2 ranked player in the world. It's unusual to find 1 and 2 playing each other to get into the finals. But Gerda Hofstetter is waiting there, and she's had a phenomenal week in Peoria, beating both Karen and Allison. She's hot right now, and each of these 2 players wants a chance to get it. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Dad. Maybe bring it down.
She's playing great.
Absolutely.
Like you said, and she have to go perfect to win this game nowadays. Cannot make any mistakes.
It's so tough to get to this point in the tournament, to get on TV. We talked about the 4 You got to take advantage of the opportunity when you get it. Helena Thornfeldt is starting to feel the pressure of getting through, winning a title. Hasn't had one since '97, and right now it's looking like she will not have one in this event. That on, but this is close her out by Karen.